So I like how the youth say, last, it will reach everybody. That's rotational, right? Welcome to Youth Assembly. My name is Sylvia Ishebe, and we are rotating something today on Youth Assembly, and you'll get to find out. I hope you had a fantastic weekend, and you are ready for October, just like I am. Okay, I am not alone. I am with Comrade Bulus Manzo. Comrade Bulus Manzo is the Vice Chairman, National Youth Council of Nigeria, FCT chapter. Welcome, comrade.
Thank you, man.
Don't you agree with me? Last, you go reach everybody.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I agree with you.
The blessing must go around. But let's see. We get to talk about rotational presidency and Nigerians' youth's quest for good governance. That's our focus and our topic today on Youth Assembly. And feel free to interact with us. Drop your comments, your question. If you have any, comrade right here will be able to answer, hopefully. And the question for you is, should rotational presidency be scrapped or retained in Nigeria? Share your thoughts. Okay, so a little bit of background, comrade. If I ask you if should rotational presidency be retained or scrapped, where would your stand be?
Okay. I like to say maybe it might sound somewhat to some people, but to me personally, I believe that given the diverse nature of our society, which is our multi-ethnic groups and the diverse nature of our society, like I've said before, we should retain rotational presidency in Nigeria.
Well, while some Nigerians are in support of rotational presidency, saying that it will promote inclusiveness and ensure that development is evenly spread among all the geopolitical zones in Nigeria, others are of the view that in the interest of good governance and the next president should be chosen based on the qualification and track record of the candidate, not just because it is the turn of a certain region to produce the president. Now, I'll ask you, does Nigeria need to do away with rotational presidency for good governance, or which many youths have been yearning for to be entrenched in Nigeria? Comrade.
Okay, saying that the rotational presidency shouldn't be retained in Nigeria sounds more academical. I like to say it sounds more academical and more idealistic. If we have to go with the reality on ground in this country, Nigeria is a multinational entity. If we check our history and our backgrounds, we are coming from different nations. What is a nation? A nation is an homogeneous set of people that live in a defined geographical area. But if you check in Nigeria, if you check the north and the south, there is a great difference between people from the north and people from the south. So, and then if we must coexist together, we must learn our differences and accept them, and then come together to live together. And that's why I'm going for the retention of rotational presidency. At least this to a great extent will allay the fears of certain regions. And I do not just even want us to stop at rotational presidency. I want every key functional offices in Nigeria, like the judiciary, the legislature, to be assigned. I want the rotational presidency to be enshrined in party constitution, so that after winning election, you don't just go ahead to form cabinet. You look at the key regions, the key areas in our country, and then assign certain positions and offices to this region to ensure inclusiveness and balanced governance.
Interesting. So, when you look at the geopolitical zones that have produced the president since 1999, would you say they are better off than other parts of the country that are yet to produce a president?
No, I wouldn't say that. The truth of the matter is that in as much as I advocate for rotational presidency, I'm not saying that it is the best and that it will allow, it will allow for development. But what I'm saying is that to an extent, to allay fears of minorities and some certain regions. You understand? Nigeria is a very, very delicate entity. You understand? Because of because of the kind of ethnicity and the cultures we have here, and the religion plays a main factor, a very big factor in our polity. So we must admit this, we must take cognizance of this, and then we must work towards maintaining those things that keep us together. There's a president, I think it was Obasanjo, that said that, I think he was being criticized that President Obasanjo was being criticized that he achieved during his administration between Nigeria, that keeping Nigeria together was enough achievement on its own. So he said keeping Nigeria together was enough achievement on its own. So you find out that because of the kind of country we are living in, there's need for us to identify these differences and then work on them, and then see how we can forge ahead as a nation.
All right. Speaking about differences, ahead of the 2023 elections, the South some leaders from the South are saying that the presidency must come to the South, and some northern region leaders are opposing that idea. What do you make of all of this back and forth that we're seeing on media in recent times?
By 20, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead. I can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I believe that by 2023, after President Muhammad Buhari must have served his second term, I believe personally that power should return to the South. This is because if you check our antecedent as a nation, since independence, power has been oscillating between the North and the South. And sometimes this, because of fears of domination by one particular region, it has led to election violence and all of those things. So for we as a nation, that's why I say that I would even encourage political parties to enshrine this in their constitution. You understand? We've been practicing rotational presidency, but we have not been bold as a nation to agree or to enshrine it in our constitution. We have just been using it tactically, and then I believe that it should be defined. Let's agree. Let's know that yes. Let's notice our differences. We are from different nations. We came together as a country, and then we should be bold enough to say yes. We know our differences, but yeah, we want to stay together. So giving power to a particular region for people have clamored. People have said that the North has in this sense, people have felt threatened. That's why you have agitation.
Okay, comrade. I can't really make out what you're saying.
This network is really well, and
yes, it's really well. But let me introduce another guest joining us. Still in Abuja, yes, from Abuja. His name is Ade Adekunle. Ade Adekunle is a public affairs analyst. Welcome, Mr. Ade. Mr. Ade, can you hear me? Okay. Well, before he connects or before whatever is wrong is sorted out, let's continue with you, comrade. But all of you listening, thank you for joining us. It is Click Niger, and we are looking at rotational presidency and Nigerian youth's quest for good governance. The question for you today is, should rotational presidency be scrapped or retained in Nigeria? And Comrade has been giving us his stand this while, telling us rotational president should be enshrined in the constitution. But you know, Comrade, some youths are saying we don't need leaders, we don't need all of that. We need leaders to be chosen on merit, based on merit, and not based on where they are from. So, do you think this would work in this kind of society we found ourselves in, multi-ethnic society, especially these days when country?
Sylvia, I want to ask them question. Those leaders they are talking about, are they going to import them from overseas? Are they going to bring
You
them
know,
from?
we have notable leaders that people have been saying, oh, if this person becomes president, maybe Nigeria will do this, maybe Nigeria will do this. People are making suggestions and even insinuating that, oh, this person is going to fight for presidency. But what do you think? What do you make of all these things? Some youths are saying.
They are. So now the truth of the matter is that even if these people are nice, good as they are, once they assume that office, their tribesmen begin to come to them, their religious people begin to come to them, and then they poison their mind and they turn them to, they make them feel guilty for being right. You understand? That's the situation we've been having in Nigeria. We've seen leaders that are selfless, that want to really do things, but as they assume power, the tribal unions begin to troop to their offices to tell them to even identify these differences to them, to tell them that, look, this is our turn, you must give it to us so that we will eat. You understand? Because once you are gone now, and they begin to think like them too. As long as they keep hearing this thing from different people from their region, from their religion, they begin to tell them, this is our turn, you want to waste our turn, let's eat it, let's eat it. So that's the situation that it's not as if we don't have good leaders. You understand? Ideally,
Are
it
you
shouldn't be
saying
like
that some leaders, when they get to office, that they can't resist all of these temptations? Is that what you're saying? They're not
yes,
people with great integrity.
it's very, very difficult for them to resist. That's what we've seen over the years. You understand? We've seen it that it's very, very difficult because these people, they tend to bring, they give them more reasons to believe that, yes, this is our turn to eat, or this is our turn. So you don't mess around with it. And that's why we're having this issue of saying the appointment of President Buhari is one-sided, and when the other president come, if you check the last president of Jonathan, if you check that one too, if you check the appointment during that time too, they were some sort of one-sided too. So if you must agree, if you must be sincere to ourselves, we must agree that yes, we are coming from different nations, and then we've agreed to stay together as one. So we must identify this first of all and agree on that, and then see how we can share this power within ourselves. There are, for instance, if they say power is being zoned to the southwest or south today, or south in general, there are many good candidates in the south. You understand? And anytime you zone this power to the north, there are plenty good candidates. So they should just look for power. In fact, let me even ask you a question. Do the real people, those patriotic people, do they really win election in Nigeria? That's the question I ask those people.
We will get to that. But Mr. Ade Adekunle, public affairs analyst, he's here now. Can you hear me now, Mr. Ade?
Yes, I can hear you very well. Thank you very much. Sorry, bad network in my area today.
Okay, it's okay. So where's your stance? Should rotational presidency be scrapped or retained in Nigeria? What's your opinion?
Well, when you talk about rotational presidency, it means my opinion actually. Thank you, my opinion. Thank you, Sylvia, for this wonderful question. First and foremost, adequately, I believe in one Nigeria. I don't believe in tribe. I don't believe in region or ethnicity, because maybe because of where I'm coming from, in the sense that I was born here in the north, grew up in the north as a Yoruba boy, so I believe in one Nigeria. So the concept of rotational president does not augur well for us, because it means if a tribe brings two mediocre person, or a region brings two people who are not too sound, we don't have a choice but to vote for those two people who are not sound. So that is my issue with rotational presidency. I believe we should allow the best of the best brains we have in Nigeria go contest for election and actually find a way to win their elections that they are contesting for, institutional things that we find ourselves in. Like my co-discussant has said, indirectly we're doing what we call rotational presidency because we believe our unity is fragile. And because our unity is fragile, we believe let it go around a little bit so that everybody will have a taste of power. But it has not given us or produced the best people, the best brains or the best mind we have. Now, let's take, for example, now, the current administration we have. Some people believe, okay, this is our own. It's our turn, namu. Like the northern people will say, it's our turn. But it doesn't mean that when it becomes their turn, it feels, oh, it's our turn to eat, it's our turn to develop our region, it's our turn to do this. That is what it sounds with rotational presidency in my ear. It seems this is my turn to chop now. It is my turn to look my area now, leaving the larger Nigeria out of it. If you can see from 1999 till date, you discover most of the presidents that we are bringing into office do not even represent the entire concept of the entire Nigerian nation. They represent themselves, because by the time you see them, like Goodluck Jonathan will wear the judge dress all throughout. The current president will wear the all throughout. But what we are looking at is unity. One Nigeria, oneness. It doesn't matter where the president will come from. It doesn't matter who rules us. In as much we get the gains and the good of the democracy or good development within our nation. That is what we care about. But because we believe we don't get as such, that is why everybody is gathering and calling. The president must come from my area, so he will develop my area. That's the call rotational president is and sounds in my ear. But as a person, in my opinion, I do not believe in rotational presidency, and I don't believe we should encourage that rotational presidency, because rotational presidency divides us further, separates us further, it polarizes our nation further. My view on rotational presidency. Thank you.
Okay, so Comrade said that if you choose leaders by merit, or people, based on what you said, choose leaders like that, and then put them maybe in the presidency or something, they tend to, they might just be lured into corruption and all those stuff, and not really stand for integrity. What do you think about this?
You see, the first thing we have is not the problem with integrity and our leaders, the fact that, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. I said the problem we have right now is the fact that sorry, Nancy, Sylvia, can you hear me, please?
Yes, good. You're good to go.
All right, okay,
go ahead.
Let me go. All right. The problem we have with the issue of corruption and people getting corrupted when they get to office, and they're not thinking Nigeria, is the fact that, first and foremost, let's look at our political system. Our political system is actually very, 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 very itself money dependent. So you can't go into office without having a godfather that will back you up financially, that will back you up in terms of pulling vote for you, that will back you up in terms of pulling influence and network for you. Now, when you now get there, they will now tell you, look, Mr. Man, we brought you here. We invested in you here. So first thing first, hear from us first. We are the people. We are the people that brought you here. You should hear from us, because our political system is heavily dependent on serious money. And that is why when you talk about youth and the quest for governance, you will not see many youth in government, because the cost of running government, or the cost of being in government, or the cost of going into elected offices in Nigeria is far too expensive. Is a far, investment, or is too much, that you will need to depend on a godfather that has made his money from a corrupt venture to fund you. And of course, he sees you as an investment. He sees you as a business that I must put my money in and I must get my money back. Because, of course, without him bringing his money, without the other godfather bringing his political, the capital of, his what are we calling it? Friends and cronies from around the nation, you might not get anything. So that is what we see. That is what we are experiencing with people getting into government and getting corrupt, or some people telling you, look, we bring you into this place, you must do our bidding. So we need to go back and look at our electoral act and look at why is it that we depend on money politics. For instance, most Nigerians will not vote for people who come on Okada or bicycle to tell them, please vote for me. They will vote for a man who they see driving the Prado Jeep, making it more expensive, and the man who is driving the Prado Jeep
so does it mean that Nigeria is not ready for leaders with merit like that. You know, your stand is.
You see, the truth is.
Yes, the truth is.
Let's tell ourselves the truth. We are not ready. You see, the popular saying that I said every state or every nation get the leader they deserve. The leader you get, the leader you get come among your, from you. So the truth still remains. You look at our past election. People will tell you, will sell their votes for 5,000, 3,000. You get some group of people like what my colleague has said. They call them tribal unions, who will come and meet you and say, settle us. We want to go and settle market women in this place. Now we are not really serious. We want somebody flashy. We want that packaging first. We say, look, what do you have before you come to contest? And all these things put together are the things that is making our politics more corrupt. That is making youth not to get involved into politics because they feel them okay. If you're not the person that they can control, none of the godfathers around will invest in your political campaign. Even your own fellow youth will betray you. We've seen skits like that. So in a nutshell, I think Nigeria say, we are not even sincere or ready to have a righteous man or a good person to lead us.
Comrade, looks like Mr. Ade Adekule has answered your question when you asked do you see merit, people with merit winning elections? You know, I told you to hold that thought. Let's see. But at this point, what do you make of all that he has said? Nigeria not being ready and how we have to really work out. What do we need to do to get to where we need to be?
The truth of the matter is that I did not hear him when he was speaking because of bad network. But let me assume that what he has said is that there are still good people in Nigeria who can govern very well, who are credible and who have integrity. You understand? But let me say this again, like this is Nigeria. We must be sincere to ourselves. You understand? In fact, during my undergraduate days as in the university, I saw how tribe, religion, and even ethnicity play a major role in ordinary departmental election, not even SUG's election. You understand? So these things, the truth of the matter is that Nigeria, when it comes to election, when it comes to tribe, religion, Nigerians are too passionate. You understand? They believe they might be doing well with you. The man from the south and the man from the north or southeast and southwest might be doing well in business. But when it comes to election, they tend to in fact they go back to their places, their various places. You understand? Everybody wants to see people who rules them or who govern them coming from their own. That's how these politicians take advantage of the situation, and it is not as if it's not the fault of the ordinary person. It is the politicians who have made it look like that. They want to win the election at all costs, so they go back to divide you along tribal and ethnic lines or even religious lines, as the case may be. But now, I want us to be sincere. I promised myself that I'm going to be sincere in this discussion. I'm not going to come here to talk about academics or to talk about idealism. I want to talk about the realities on ground. This concept of democracy.
Okay.
Hello. Yes.
All right. Point noted. Mr. Ade, can you hear me? Mr. Ade, can you hear me? Okay, feel free to drop your comments and even questions if you have any. The question is, should rotational presidency be scrapped or retained?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, in Nigeria. Drop your comments and please share this video, and you might just help us reach the person that needs to hear this. But yes, Mr. Ade, over to you. Can you hear me? Okay,
yes,
okay. So former Emir of Kano,
all right,
was spotted in the media recently saying, okay, I can hear you. So he said, the former Emir of Kano, Lamido Salisu, said that zoning could lead Nigeria with two, in his words, useless candidates in 2023. Now, do you think rotational presidency limits the choice of electors in Nigeria during elections?
That's for me, right? Is that
I
my
think this
question?
question should be direct. Yes, directed at you, comrade. Before I get
Okay.
Mr. Ade's opinion, comrade.
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Let me. The truth of the matter is that in Nigeria, because of the money politics they play here in Nigeria, it is always difficult for right candidate to be few in election or to scale through election because of the money required to secure party nomination and and campaign processes. You understand? So what we have always had is not even the best of candidates in our country, but the few privileged one who have the financial wherewithal to pass through these processes, and that's why sometimes the
Unfortunately, we
election.
can't hear you. We can't hear you at all, comrade. Oh no.
Can you hear me?
Okay.
Hello.
Yes. Now. Yes. Go ahead.
Okay. Maybe I have to take that. I said
Please take it again. Yes.
yes. I said maybe over the years, the issue we have been having in Nigeria about selecting candidates for election is because the election process in Nigeria is quite expensive. It's very expensive. It takes money. I mean to run the campaigns and then secure party nomination. In every election, if you are not financially buoyant, no matter how good and sound you are, or honest, and even no matter your integrity, you stand not to have a chance at the election at all because you cannot muscle your, I mean, you don't have the financial muscle to make your way to the primaries. So in the past, what we have been having is the few privileged who have the financial wherewithal to govern us. So whether they are generally good people or not, you understand? Whether they have the country at mind. In fact, in most cases, people who have governed us have never had the intention of governing us. You understand? They secure nomination by accident. You understand? Let me give you an example. In the case of President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua in 2007, Obasanjo, people who campaign in other clans, in other democracies, what they do is that democracy is a process of constant engagement. If you want to become a leader, you must be constantly engaging your people. So if you go to the internet and there are, I've seen one or two politicians that are constantly engaging people on the social media, platforms. But I bet you, I'm wishing them well. But I bet you when it comes to 2023, you will not find these people again because they do not even have the financial capacity. And the two major political parties in Nigeria will want to bring candidates that will play to their dictates. You understand? This is what played out in 2007, where we have Governor Peter Odili of Rivers State then campaigned for a very long period of time. But when it came to looked around and brought President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua of blessed memory from nowhere. In fact, within just few months to the primary, I mean, few weeks to the primary, brought him up and secure. I mean, he won the election. You understand? So the same thing plays out for us here. People who have money, the bourgeois.
So should we even continue with that mentality or that way of okay, people have money?
We should not be pretending any longer. We should not be
Yes,
pretending
thank you.
any
Your point
longer.
is
We
noted.
should admit this.
Yes.
And then,
Okay.
hello, can you hear
Let me
me?
bring up. Yes, thank you. We heard you. Mr. Ade, he has said a lot of things, but some people also are saying that we can't do away with rotational presidency if the zoning hasn't gone round, that people who haven't benefited from presidency since 1999 might feel like they've been left out of all of this. What's your opinion on this?
Yes, I want to believe people will say, yes, if they don't rotate, it means some regions or some group of people will not have access to become the president of the country. But when we look at the issue of rotation, we started, like we've been saying, indirectly we're doing rotational presidency from 1960 to date, and it has been our basis for campaigning, where people feel to look at, oh, if I bring, we have 6 regions. We know 2 regions from the north and 2 regions from the south do not agree on the same spot. And okay, we have swing regions from one of these regions and a swing region here. Now we play this politics like a chess. We play it every day. That if we don't give these people this chance, it means they will not rule. But let me tell you something, man. If we had de-emphasized what we call rotational presidency from day one to feel it's our turn, it's our turn, it's our turn, or power is us, power is us, that's us, we would have gone far in our politics that once we have the campaign, let's look at the campaign, the election process itself. We said the biggest problem we have in this entire thing is the fact that our election process is fully dependent on money politics. If you don't have the money, you can't contest. If you don't have in fact, the nation is large, a nation of over 200 million people. What do you expect? That you won't get money to run elections. And if you don't have money to run this election, it becomes a problem. So what we are saying generally is the fact that, yes, the school of thought who says that if you don't rotate, some people will not get power. If you rotate, some people say, oh, some people will get power. But the truth still remains, it will not give us, it won't allow us to use the best people to compete for power to rule us. That's the problem, because I'll give an instance. Some professional organizations in Nigeria today use this rotational presidency, like Nigerian Bar Association, like ICANN. Now they do that. That's a case study in some professional groups where rotational presidency has been working. It's a good one. But if you look at the other school of thought that say, look, if we do rotational presidency, what if this group of people at this point in time, the people who have the finance to fund the election at that region are two worst people? But because you have the money, then we are presented by two choices to bring two wrong people into the office because they have the money to front for elections.
But mind you, what if the person who is funding the election also, there is also the possibility that the person bringing the money or has the money will also is also in good standing to take that position, like he merits it. What happens at that point where zoning and merit comes together and maybe the situation will change for Nigeria? How do you react to this?
Whatever we discuss is a theory, but we are doing an application of what zoning has cost or will cost us. And for instance, for a very long time, the South region campaigned and said, look, since independence, we don't have anybody from the South. And God bless them, they got Goodluck Jonathan to rule. Now, after Goodluck Jonathan, some people in the group say, oh, we've not gotten power in this area, then they got the power back. Now, but the truth still remains, in reality, has it given us what we wanted? Has it given us what we wanted? But rather, what we are seeing is once a group of people come into power because they believe it's their turn indirectly, then they feel it is time for us to gather what we need to gather and invest in our region. It's time to actually do what we call nepotism. It was your turn when you were there. You appointed your people in government. It's my turn now. Let me appoint my people in government. And that's not a true reflection of what a true Nigerian would be. That is the effect. These are the ripple effect of rotational presidency. Because you get somebody to say, look, it is my turn. Go to any ministry, go to a minister or have somebody from a particular region who is heading that area, go and check the majority of people that they will employ. It is people from their region. It is not giving us that unity with us.
Right.
It's not letting us present our best brains forward. That's my issue.
Okay, is that what I heard? Bring your best foot forward. Okay. At this point, comrade, I would like to take your final thoughts on this topic. Should rotational presidency be scrapped or retained in Nigeria? So opponents of rotational presidency are also saying that if there is zoning, maybe is it possible? It's still possible to choose a candidate based on merits, where even with zoning, that any region whose turn it is to produce a president will produce somebody who is qualified. How would you react to this, comrade? Final thoughts.
Okay. I in two major political zones in Nigeria, that's the north and the south. The north has 19 states, while the south has 17 states. So I don't want to believe that at a particular period in time there will not be any good candidate in this whole 17 states zone at any given time. I want to believe that at any given time, we can have more than even 10 of candidates from a particular zone. So we must admit this, and we must agree to the fact that we are from. Let's agree that we are from a diverse nation. This is
Yeah.
this is a colonial contraption. Permit me to use that word, even though I find it sometimes offensive. But that's the truth. That's the reality. We are brought together by the colonialists, and then if we must, and the system we are part of is also borrowed. You understand? So we must be able to tailor it to our own needs as a country. You understand? The democracy we are practicing today is not indigenous to Nigeria. It's not indigenous to Africa even. So we strive federalism, and to an extent, our federalism is different from United States federalism, just as it's different from Canada's federalism, and even Australia, and even that of South Africa. So we must find a way to Yes, we must find a way to tailor our own democracy to our own needs. You understand?
What would you tell a young person right now when the person is looking for criteria for a candidate in 2023?
Okay, for every young person, you understand, even though it pains me that the youth constitute the larger percentage of our population, but in contrast, we are not held sway politically. We are not heading swell politically, probably because of we've been divided, not because we don't have youth that can take over or assume position, but we've been our consciousness has been that in fact this tribal and sectional things has been our consciousness, and no matter how the youth are united when it comes to the election, these few elites, few from still calls you, gives them money to divide them according to tribal or religious line. That is the most unfortunate thing. We've seen that in election, even in youth council's election. When a particular section, when these people rise up and then they begin to protest against it because it's not coming from our side. So I will just tell you, I will advise you that as we approach next electoral cycle in Nigeria, we should we should go back to our respective region and identify people that we agree with, people who felt that they have the capacity to govern us, and campaign for them. You understand? And campaign for them. I ensure that provided it is zone, I'm still advocating for zoning, despite the fact that I've said, listen to me, I've said that I do not believe that it will solve Nigeria's problem, but I believe that to an extent, it will allay fears of certain regions, and it will guarantee peace after election. It will reduce, once it is known that this is the region that is producing a president this time, these other people who can now pipe through and then save their resources and support people from this other region. So to an extent, it will help down tension.
That is a benefit of zoning for, in his own opinion. Comrade Bolus Manzo is a vice chairman, National Youth Council of Nigeria, FCT chapter. And finally, Ade Adekunle, we'll take your thoughts now. Message to the youth in 30 seconds.
Wow. Okay. My message to the youth is simple. No, power is not given freely. Power is taken with persistency, with consistency, and with patience. So to Nigerian youth, if we want power, we must be persistent, we must be consistent in our quest for power. We must not be taken aback like somebody is telling you are too young to rule. And of course, to Nigerian youth, I will tell you, I will say, we'll rise by helping others. We shouldn't be an architect of bringing down our own fellow youth because of, we've seen one Babalu somewhere that is giving money for free. So let's get into a political party. It's not creating a new political party. Invade in our number, invade the political parties, join them in their primaries. I not just join them in their primaries. Ensure that you participate, pick a form and contest. And when you do that, you will win.
You will win.
Thank you very much.
Yes, if you get the support, the right support you need. from Nigerians. Thank you so much, Ade Adekunle. Ade Adekunle is a public affairs analyst. To all of you who joined us today on Youth Assembly as we looked at rotational presidency, Nigeria's youth quest for good governance. Thank you for your time. Please share this video and please comment. The conversation continues even on our Instagram page at Click Niger. On YouTube, we're at Click Niger. On Twitter, we're on Click Niger One. All right. See you soon on another interesting edition of Youth Assembly. Thank you, comrade, once again, and thank you, Ade Adekunle. Have a fantastic day. The show was produced by Ihoma Ukeche. My name is Sylvia Ishiwe.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.